I have 1 minute, he tells me. I find it very difficult to follow these great speakers here because my situation, I'm somewhat of a Luddite when it comes to technology and all that good stuff, and I try to use the basics. So the two areas that I don't have a whole slide presentation, by the way. It just says, oh, I do. Okay. So thank you, David. So the two areas that I really work in terms of that I think are related mostly to the authentic learning model in terms of problem-based activity are the graduate capstone projects, both for the MBA, which is the Organization Management Project, and for the MGM, which is the Global Management Research Project, so OMP and GMRP. The second area that I work in, so one is capstone, the second area is as the undergraduate case competition team coach. So both activities, twice a week, I'm working with cases, we are working with cases for the case competition team that are real cases, not necessarily live, but they are real cases and they are, again, a problem-based activity. And what I find in both the common element between the organization management project, the capstone, and the case competition team is that the process is linear. The outcome is linear. The process is organic. So when you say to people, all right, well, what is the problem here? Come up with the problem. And I sit in the room and observe and watch, this is for the case competition, watch them kind of look around and talk. And the first thing they do is they say, well, clearly he doesn't have a marketing plan, so I think that's part of what we should be doing. I said, wait a minute, guys, just a second. What is the problem? Why would he want or she want a marketing plan? What's underlying that? Okay, and then we just keep digging why, and why. Again, another common element in terms of experiential learning or a problem-based learning with the capstone project. So for both the organization management project and the global management research project, the first thing that we try to drive home is, don't tell me that your project is about marketing, tell me what the problem is. So we try and get people to, and that's the hardest part at the front end, is to define the problem. And the problem is not something that somebody wrote down and said, Jack is wondering if he should have a marketing plan. So it's not, the problem isn't Jack is wondering if he should have a marketing plan. There's stuff in there that's much deeper than that. And the same thing happens when Samantha and we work on the applied business challenges with the BComs. It's the same thing where we bring a live case in and we try to force them into thinking that way. Although the presentation in the end is somewhat linear because you have to sort of talk about, okay, so here's the problem we're doing and here are some alternatives, et cetera, and you know the drill. Interestingly enough, with the capstone project, we have very different approaches, a variety of different approaches we can come at. One is the good old-fashioned consulting project, where a client is found, has a particular issue they want solved, and the graduate student goes in and goes through the process of developing a proposal, doing their ethical review. They have to do primary and secondary research and literature review, etc. They go through all that, and at the end of it all, they come up with a list of recommendations. The other approach, which is even more, this is a bias of mine, and I admit it, it's probably more meaningful to the individual learner, is what are you interested in? Well, I'm interested in human resource management. Okay, what aspects? Succession planning. Okay, why don't you do a project on succession planning? And find an organization that we'll call a subject organization. Or I had recently a couple of them doing industry. Was that for me? Oh, okay. Yeah.
1 minute. Oh,
thank you. Oh, good. Unaccustomed as I am, sorry. Yeah, I'm used to just going on and on. All right. So where was I? We don't know. No, neither do I. Okay. So in the end, the questions that I have are, Come on, David. Yeah, get with the program. Okay. Have to do with the fact that in both, mainly in the capstone, which I failed to mention, I only have 30 seconds left to do it, is that we have, we use the tools, we use Moodle, and we use Collaborate. So with Moodle, it's more than just posting their projects or in the Dropbox or posting their deliverables. It's also us giving feedback to them. And I know that CTEC gets very frustrated with me because I don't use Moodle the way it was meant to be used. I use it, the grading is totally off. It's just 1 out of 1 or 0 out of 1. And you either did it or you didn't do it. And so, and then the grade sheets get all screwed up and everything, and David and I have a ball. Anyway, so that's asynchronous. We also do, for the capstone project, both for the GMRP and the OMP, we also do 5 Collaborate sessions that build over the period of 14 months or so. I guess I'm wrong, it's not 14, but over a period of less than that, 8 months. 14 is the spread. So what we do in the Collaborate sessions is, at any point in time, always offering an opportunity for the students to raise any concerns or questions they have, but also focusing on the topic that they're supposed to be focused on for the deliverable that's coming up next. So we move from project description to detailed proposal, through to ethical review, through to research methodology, draft introduction, etc. So they're used to asynchronous learning. We set up these Collaborate sessions. We call them mandatory, but have no leverage to make them mandatory because the project is a pass or not even fail, pass or resubmit, continue to resubmit. So the questions I have are, how can we sell synchronous learning when most learners are used to asynchronous? Oh, I see it up there, good. The second question is, how can we overcome the challenges of low participation in synchronous Collaborate sessions? Because even when it's mandatory, we have a cohort of 68 people, 35 show up because we record it. Okay, bye. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you,
Okay,
Don.
there's my